We got, okay. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Good morning. Is this good for the sound? We're all good? I'd like to thank everyone for coming out this morning. Attorney General Uthmeier, our federal partners, Ag Law, Colonel Adams. Last week, 3 people died after an illegal immigrant made an illegal U-turn on Florida's Turnpike. This accident happened because of Joe Biden's failed border policies and immigration policies. Joe Biden allowed over 10 million illegals into our country. Many of them were terrorists, drug smugglers, rapists, and murderers. Thankfully, President Trump was sworn in January, and he has completely closed down our border and has had the largest criminal illegal deportation in the history of the country. In support of President Trump's policies, Florida has been a leader in the deportation of criminal illegal immigrants. The Department of Agriculture Law, Ag Law, led by Colonel Adams, is a force multiplier in this effort. All of our sworn officers are 287G certified. We achieved that in early July. Ag Law is not just looking for agricultural bugs, but we're also looking for drugs and thugs. We have 23 interdiction stations, and thanks to the legislature, we are adding a new station at 231. In addition, we are putting in pullover lanes along our northern border. I want to thank DOT for their efforts in helping us get these areas established. In the next few months, we will also have advanced technology equipment, X-ray machines that will actually X-ray these trucks as they pull through interdiction stations. This will be another major tool in the effort to fight these types of crimes. And I also want to thank Ag Law and the legislature for doing such an amazing job of pulling these things together. Ag Law has arrested or turned over to federal immigration partners nearly 150 illegal immigrants in the last year. As part of the multi-agency Saul Palmetto Berry theft operation, Ag Law recently arrested 2 suspects and referred 17 individuals to Customs and Border Patrol. In March, one of our Ag Law special agents, who was on a United States Marshal Task Force, was assigned to a Russian fugitive who had an active warrant for escaping from a prison in Santa Rosa County, stemming from an underage sex trafficking scheme out of Minnesota. Our special agent was able to locate him under a crawl space of a relative's house and transport him to jail where he belongs. In June this year, Ag Law with federal and local partners dismantled a major skimming operation in Hernando County, arresting 3 suspects, seizing 354 counterfeit cards, 17 skimmers, 150 plus storage devices, illegal fuel tanks, animal fighting equipment, and over $47,000 in cash. These are just a few of Ag Law's accomplishments. Today we are putting people who break the law on notice. If you come through these interstations and you're an illegal or breaking the law, you will be handed over to our local or federal partners. If you are driving a commercial vehicle and you are not proficient in English, we will comply with the President's executive order. Thank you for giving us a few minutes to highlight the good work of Ag Law and our law enforcement partners to combat criminal activity of illegal immigration. This is a tremendous effort, starting with President Trump, Governor DeSantis, and our sheriffs and local law enforcement. Ag Law is proud to be a force multiplier on these national security and immigration issues. At this time, I'd like to turn the podium over to Attorney General James Uthmeier.
Thank you, Commissioner. Obviously, most people in Florida are now aware of the serious tragedy that happened down in southeast Florida. Someone that never should have been given a driver's license, much less a CDL license to drive larger commercial vehicles, engaged in reckless behavior that took 3 lives. Last night, we saw another example. We were able to arrest an individual who was in the country illegally, who was driving a commercial vehicle in Bay County. The individual, Roberto Carlos Vergara, has been arrested and is now under an ICE hold. There's no telling how many illegal aliens are in this country driving large commercial vehicles and putting American families in a safety risk every single day. And that's why efforts like what Agriculture Law Enforcement Commissioner Simpson are doing are so important. We have got to protect our American citizens from the dangers of the open border crisis and illegal aliens that may be engaging in behavior that injures people. So we've made this arrest last night. We're continuing to crack down and interdict others that may have gotten into Florida from sanctuary states. As a reminder, in Florida, you cannot obtain a driver's license if you are an illegal alien. And if you have obtained a driver's license from one of these sanctuary states like California, Washington, or in the case of the driver from last night, New Jersey, those licenses are no good here. So I commend Commissioner Simpson and the Department of Agriculture for surging interdictions at these checkpoints. The legislature gave them over 85 new law enforcement positions in the special session earlier this year. Their forces, when full, will total almost 300, and many of these law enforcement officers will be stationed at the interdiction checkpoints coming into the state of Florida. So I commend them for conducting inspections to interdict illegal aliens, to ensure that people driving with these CDL licenses are equipped to do so, for making sure that people who do not speak English do not have these licenses and are not driving large commercial vehicles, putting American families on the road at risk. So thank you, Commissioner, for the work of your team. I'll conclude by saying that our office is calling on the federal government, the United States Department of Transportation, to revoke CDL programs in California and Washington if the federal government identifies systematic abuse of these programs and allowing illegal aliens, perhaps even encouraging illegal aliens to obtain these licenses. And if other states like New Jersey and others are engaging in similar practice, then those programs should be revoked as well, and any funding tied to it should also be revoked. Thank God we've got a president that is restoring law and order, that has secured the border, and that has brought back American sovereignty. This is saving lives, this is protecting our people, and going forward, we're going to help him deliver on his promises. Here in Florida, we're leading the way. We're going to continue to interdict as many people as possible. I know several hundred illegal aliens were detained last week in state law enforcement efforts. And we'll continue to get them to Alligator Alcatraz or other places. And we will combat in court activist judges that want to shut down these facilities. I'll conclude by saying this. When it comes to fighting for President Trump, there's no state like Florida, and there's no leadership team like Governor DeSantis and our cabinet. So thank you for having me today.
First, I want to thank the Attorney General for his leadership, and also want to thank Commissioner Simpson for his leadership and our federal partners that we've been working with, ICE and our ERO. We have 23 stations. All of those are supporting in the front line of defense coming into and out of the state of Florida. Right now, just in the last 2 years under Commissioner Simpson's leadership, we've been able to locate over 400 stolen semi-trailers, and that is huge for us. Also, as just down the road, we have a vehicle pulled over with a driver that isn't illegal driving a motor vehicle. We are here to support the initiatives from our state government as well as our presidents, but also we're here to protect the state coming into and out of. And I'd like to thank our working relationships with our federal partners, our sheriffs, and our local police chiefs, and we'll continue to do everything in our power to keep Florida safe. Thank you.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. My name's Garrett Ripa. I'm the ICRO Field Office Director for the Miami Field Office. I want to thank the Commissioner, and I want to thank the Attorney General for having us today. First and foremost, I recently read an article in the paper talking about an illegal alien family that was having a difficult time illegally crossing into the United States. And I thought to myself, how is it possible that we've come to a place we're sympathizing for people that are trying to illegally come into the country and break the law. In other words, these are people that are illegally crossing into the country and breaking our immigration laws. That is no more apparent than the tragedy 2 weeks ago that occurred on the Florida Turnpike when an illegal alien who illegally crossed into the United States and more than likely should not have had a commercial driver's license and killed 3 innocent people. That is a tragedy that I think the media is overlooking, and there's so much more that we're going to be able to do now that our administration has ostensibly made the border safe. There are historically low numbers at the border coming across, and the next tranche that we're going to go forward with is interior enforcement. And that's why through our state, through our county, and through our local partners, the 287G program will be that next step that will do the interior enforcement for everything in Florida. That will include all of the roadside stuff we see going on today, the FHP interdictions, on and on. So again, it is a rule of law in the state of Florida. We encourage everyone to legally come into the United States, and I always stress that. My DHS partners stress that. The ICE Secretary has stressed that. It's legal, it's safe immigration is what we're pushing for, not illegal immigration across the border. So again, with that, I thank everyone, and I thank everybody for their time. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Samuel Briggs II. I'm the Deputy Chief Patrol Agent for Miami Sector Border Patrol. I'd like to start off by thanking Governor DeSantis for his leadership, and I'd also like to recognize Commissioner Simpson and the Attorney General for their partnership and support since we've been working together. Border security is national security. While the United States Border Patrol is often simply considered an immigration agency, our agents are authorized by law and empowered by the President to address all national security threats. Each day, foreign terrorist organizations challenge the sovereignty of our nation and seek to endanger the Florida communities by attempting to smuggle drugs, illegal aliens, and weapons of mass destruction into the United States. Florida has become a top destination for foreign terrorist organizations such as Tren de Aragua and MS-13 due to its proximity to the Caribbean and Central and South America. Our partnership with Florida law enforcement agencies has allowed us to gain the upper hand on criminal organizations operating in Florida and has forced them to operate in the shadows. The Florida Department of Agriculture is an invaluable partner in this mission. They work shoulder to shoulder with our agents to identify, locate, arrest, and deport criminal illegal aliens within Florida communities. Recently, we conducted a joint operation with the Florida Department of Agriculture, specifically the Office of Agricultural Law Enforcement, to arrest illegal aliens that were illegally harvesting saw palmetto berries. The operation resulted in nearly 100 arrests. Partnerships are the cornerstone of our success. Since April 21st, 2025, Operation Tidal Wave, a federal, state, and local law enforcement partnership, has resulted in thousands of illegal aliens arrests and deportations across Florida. The United States Border Patrol will continue collaborating with our partners to deliver consequences to those who remain in the United States illegally. The message is clear. Leave now voluntarily through the CBP home application or face the consequences when you are arrested. One last thing. If anyone, illegal alien or American citizen, assaults or threatens a Border Patrol agent or any law enforcement official, you will be arrested, you will be charged with a felony, and you will be prosecuted. We are committed to safeguarding Florida and protecting our nation. We are grateful to the free state of Florida for their partnership in our shared mission. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, obviously, this is a very important mission for our nation and country, and Florida is doing its part. And so we're going to, if there are a few questions, we'll be happy to try to answer a few. Yeah, so President Trump signed an executive order, I think, in April, which was a law that I think that carried back to 1937, that said that if you are not proficient in English, you cannot drive commercial vehicles. And the reason it is important, our ag law team is all over the state, but we do primarily the checks into the northern border through our interdiction stations. And if we catch them here, we can certainly prevent those type of accidents that happened on the turnpike the other day. And so our goal is to continue to ramp up our encounters here at the interdiction stations and make sure we're getting these guys off the road. That's a DOT conversation. We know what we're doing here at the ag law and interdiction stations.
Yeah, the question is, am I surprised that other states are granting these CDL licenses to illegal immigrants? I guess I'm not surprised, sadly, that states like California and Washington and sanctuary states want to do this. But I do think there is major liability here. Our office is investigating both the actions of other sanctuary jurisdictions as well as the agents and companies that provided these exams or lack thereof. It's hard to imagine a situation where somebody doesn't speak English can actually go through one of these exams and receive, the necessary authorization. If you can't read street signs, how are you going to drive large commercial vehicles, 18-wheelers, tractor trailers in a safe manner? You could see it down in southeast Florida, right there where the truck turned and the unfortunate collision took place. There is literally a no U-turn sign that says official use only. For people, in the state that are driving, you see the little paths that cross over between the freeways, and you got fast-moving traffic. Oftentimes you see law enforcement or first responders there. It's a dangerous thing to do with such high-speed vehicles. So to do so in an 18-wheeler with surrounding traffic just shows the carelessness and the danger that was posed on other drivers in the area. So not surprised. Would like to see, our red states and our federal government work together to combat these policies, because they don't just impact the drivers in that state, as we've seen here. Drivers go into other states and ultimately put other state citizens at risk. So we'll continue to pursue any legal remedy we can, and we'll continue to work with our state partners in a defensive posture to protect Floridians from these out-of-state illegal aliens operating this large equipment. The question is, does the federal government have the ability to regulate here? The answer is absolutely yes. It's been great to see the Trump administration already stepping up. I believe last week, Thursday, Secretary Rubio formally announced that the federal government is going to be revoking all visas related to non-citizen labor operating these vehicles. I know the U.S. Department of Transportation is beginning some sort of audit into the behaviors of some of these states. And like I said earlier, we certainly are calling on and looking forward to work with the federal government in the hopes of restricting CDL programs that are operating in a careless manner. Last night, an illegal alien was detained in Bay County for driving a commercial vehicle. Already put under an ICE hold. That individual will be deported back to where he came from. And it just shows that, this is going on across the state. So checkpoints like this are going to be a great way to stop it. I know our state law enforcement has other interdiction efforts. The troopers, again, were able to detain several hundred individuals last week that will be queued up for deportation. And going forward, we're going to do everything we can to identify illegal aliens driving these vehicles and pursue legal action where necessary.
Thank you guys for coming out. I'm sure we'll have we'll have more news as it is made. But we are out here every day. Ag Law, our federal partners, Border Security, the Attorney General, every day protecting American families, Florida families, and we're putting everybody on notice that, again, we're just getting started. Thank y'all for coming out today.